Now we're going to look at some more data. It says 25 sixth graders were asked to estimate how many hours a week they spend talking on the phone. So like FaceTiming, phone calls, that type of stuff, not texting. This dot plot represents the reported number of hours. So problem 1A says how many of the students reported not talking on the phone during the week? You should have counted how many dots are right here to see how many did not talk on the phone. So it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 students. And I know this because clearly I counted, right? I could tell from the number of dots. B says what percentage of the students reported not talking on the phone. That's where it gets iffy. So how many students do we have in total? We have 25 sixth graders, and 10 of them did not talk on the phone. And we want to know what percent that is of 100. So how we would do this is we're actually going to cross multiply. I showed this to you right before spring break. So we have 10 times 100, which equals 1,000. And we have 25 times our question mark here. I'm going to say X. Now to get X alone, we're going to divide 25. Divide 25. And X would actually equal 40%. And that is the way that you can do percents. It's actually the easiest way. So please write that down. We took the number of students that had 0 phone call stuff during the week, put it out of all the students that we documented, which was 25. We want to know what percent that is, and percents are always out of 100. So that's how I got all of that information. Now we're going to move to problem 2. It says, what is the largest number of hours a student spent talking on the phone per week? So I know that you can look at this data and figure that out. Remember, the hours on the phone per week is at the bottom. We see that it stopped here at 3, so the largest amount of hours a student could have spent talking for our data was 3 hours per week. I wasn't asking you which one had the most amount of students. I was asking what is the most amount someone could have talked, and from our data that showed 3 hours. Now we're going to find the percentage of the group that talked for this amount of time. So now we're going to do the same thing. We have 25 kids. I see 3 dots for 3 hours. And we want to do the same thing. Put X above 100 and we're going to cross multiply. 3 times 100 is 300. 25 times X is 25X. When 25 is next to X, that means to multiply, but I'm going to actually do the opposite and divide so I can figure out what that X is. Going to set it up here. If you already know what 25 times something gives you 300, you don't even have to do this part. I just don't know. Should have been 12%. The next part says, how many hours would you say that these students typically spend talking on the phone? So now I'm going to look at all of the data and see what you would think the amount is for that. I see that we have a good amount over here versus a smaller amount. It goes down over here. So I would say that students were probably roughly around not talking on the phone or talking for at least like about an hour. So about 1 hour per week. And I got that because that's where the largest amount of students were, between 0 and 1. So about 1 hour per week. And it says, how many minutes per day would that be? Well, that would be, an hour is about 60 minutes. And there's 7 days in a week. So 60 divided by 7, if we estimate that, think of 63 divided by 7, which is about 9 minutes probably per week. I'm sorry, per day. Because for the entire week, we spent 1 hour on the phone, so we split the 1 hour in minutes, which is 60, amongst the 7 days. So if you want to actually do 60 divided by 7 and really figure out specifically, you can, but I just estimated. So about 9 minutes per day.